Hi guys, we're going to do another quick assignment about color in Sketchbook. So remember your Sketchbook app, click on that one. And what we're going to do today is we're going to look at the primary colors again and how they mix with the other colors, or how they mix to make other colors. So this is one of your elements of art. These are the elements of the things that you can create and change and work with in art. These are your choices. So you can choose your shapes, you can choose your lines, you can choose your colors, and we'll learn the other elements later. What I want you to do for this one, we're going to use a special little tool up here, right there, a rectangle tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a rectangle right here. You can kind of see it on the screen there. It's a dot line rectangle. And then we're going to fill that rectangle in by clicking on this button right there. So that button is called fill, and we're going to make sure that it says solid. We want it to be on a solid fill. And what we're going to do is we're going to solidly fill that by changing this color. If I click right now, it just goes black because the black is the circle right here. So I'm going to change my black. I'm going to change that to red. We're going to start with our primary colors. Red. And then you click inside the square, and bam, you got a red rectangle. Sorry, not square, rectangle. Then I'm going to come back to this rectangle drawing thing. It's called a selection tool. I'm going to draw another rectangle that kind of goes over part of it. And on this one, oh, I got to do something else first. I've got to make a new layer. So I'm going to click right here. Make a new layer. See how I did that? I clicked on there, the plus button to make a new layer. And it pops up with a blank layer on top. And I've got my rectangle drawn there. Oops, gotta draw my rectangle again. There we go. So I've got my rectangle drawn with one corner kind of hanging over the other red corner. And on this one, I'm going to use a primary color. So we have red, yellow, and blue. So I'm going to pick yellow for this one. Yellow. Right there, and then I click on my fill button, the fill tool up there. I click here, and I'm going to do one more thing with that. So I've got yellow and red, but let's see what happens when you can kind of see through the yellow onto the red. Click right here on your layer that's yellow. Just click once, and it comes up with this screen. And what you can do is you can lower the opacity. That's this button right here, to where you can kind of see through. I'm going to lower it about there. So what color does that make? When you mix red and yellow, you can see that it makes orange. Now, let's make another layer. So we made a new layer over here, and I'm going to draw another rectangle. Oops, I'm going to try to keep these kind of close together. Okay, and on this rectangle, I'm going to color it red again. Good. And I click there and I color it red. Now this time I'm going to use a different layer again, and I'm going to draw another rectangle. And I want part of the corner to go over the blue or the red, and I'm going to use my other primary color this time. So I'm going to come here to fill, and I'm going to change my red to blue. Good. And then I click here, and it colors it solid, but if I lower the opacity, I can see through it a little bit. So I'm going to lower the opacity down to about right there. And you click off of it, and you can see that red and blue mixed together make, you tell me, it's violet. Great. Now what we can do, we can look and see what the other colors can mix together. So let's make another rectangle. This time we'll use the rectangle again. draw a new rectangle. Oh, and I forgot to make a new layer, so I've got to make a new layer for this. New layer right there. So always you got to make a new layer for each shape you make. So new layer. You see all my layers of rectangles over here. This is a new blank one, and I've got a rectangle selected. Remember, you got to draw your rectangle like that. And I'm going to color this one. This time I'll color it yellow. So this one is going to be yellow. I'll color it in right there. And I've already seen what yellow makes with red, but let's see what it makes with blue. So again, I make a new layer. I click right here. And I got to draw my new rectangle. And what color did I say I was going to use? The other primary color. I've got red and yellow. And now I need yellow and can't do yellow and yellow. I already did red and yellow, so that would be yellow and blue. So I'm going to click here, come down here to blue, click OK, and click on my fill button. Now this is going to be a solid blue, but I want to see if I click on the actual layer of that blue, click there, and I lower this down. I can see that it kind of makes, now this doesn't quite look like green, does it? So we're going to do something slightly different. We're going to use a different blue. Sometimes when you're mixing blue and yellow, it doesn't come out the way you thought it was going to. So what we're going to do for this is we're going to actually change our blue. We're going to click on the blue, and we're going to go to a blue that's closer to green over here. So I'm going to come to this is more of like a cyan blue. So I changed it from that blue to that blue. And this is the reason for it. And click there now. Oops, wrong layer. Gotta undo that. Gotta come back up here to the top. Click there, and I'm gonna make this cyan blue. And now you can kind of see how that turns it green. Oops, oops. Alright, see? So we've got blue and yellow makes green. And that's because on a computer, you've kind of got to use the cyan blue to make green and the more indigo blue to make violet. What those are, again, guys, is kind of a difference between this blue and that blue. This blue makes more violet colors, and this blue is good for making more green colors. So, in review, what do we have? Red and yellow, they make orange. Red and blue, they make violet. And yellow and blue, they make green. And the orange, violet, and green, those are your secondary colors. So what are your primary colors? That's right, red, blue, and yellow. And your secondary, orange, violet, and green. Okay. So that's all for this lesson today. Look forward to seeing your work. Thanks.